Georgia Pacific and Kimberly College in Atlanta here. So lots of global companies, when you operate around the world, that's why we hear from this environmental changing, evolving, then how we can operate your business on different part of the world. So next slide. So obviously it's a fact. I think the first two presenters talking about all this carbon footprint, climate change. So EHS is a risk, obviously, in the business, especially in the business of pollution. For example, you are not only looking for how many $1 million sales, how many $1 million of the assets, you're also looking at how many $1 million risk. So EHS is well recognized risk for today's business. Sometimes you can buy a company comes at more high environmental risk than the value. So we will give you for free if you want it, probably not. So, and again, in the global regulation there, as what we see, the world changing so fast, just similar like a curve, if I can steal from Dr. Huang. In the last 20 years, it's all exponential. So as the regulation, so as different part of the world. So in the business, how are you going to deal with this? Like every presentation got a cartoon, not only cartoon I have. It's got a head spinning head. So how are you going to deal with? How are you going to manage this kind of risk? So, so I put a global map there. What I'd like to do, again, in the next 20 minutes, just very high fly to go through a very different region, and I might pick up a couple countries. Definitely, I think China is on the table for the last two. So continue, we gotta have a good case talking about China, and a little bit maybe end up in India. That's another up and coming country that create a lot of issues also. So, okay, go ahead. Actually, can you back to two slides? I don't know how to do that from here. Point to the United States with the mouse. Thank you. Okay, good, thank you. So here we are here in the US. So a very good segue from JC PowerPoint. He mentioned a lot of stormwater. So stormwater regulation has been in this country since early 90s. And even some countries in the world still not dealing with all this stormwater called a non-point source. But in the US, we've been addressed the stormwater. You might get into some of what we call the NEPI, National Pollution Discharge Elimination System. US have this one since 1970. We already been doing this for the 30 plus, almost 40 plus years now. So started with like the point source control, where your wastewater coming out. But what we learned also is a lot of stormwater runoff, like JC's slide you can see, even come behind the dim sum. Those kind of things. This country, by far, is the first country in the world start doing the regular non-point source, and we should be very proud of it. And we've been doing that because the non-point source contribute to the surface water pollution even more than point source, because point source has been regulated for almost 30 plus years. So the EPA just have the new update in 2015. They call it multi-sector general permit. We got the detail. Every industry, factory, or even some agricultural scrapyard, you also need to be covered by EPA stormwater permit. And it's been coming out, and this one coming out in place since 2008. So that's one thing change, and some state implementation might be slightly differently. And that's one thing. And another good segue I like to steal from JC also. He's present about the pH change on coral reef. So actually myself, so I'm a school diver. I hate to see the coral die. That's very sorrowful. But the pH, what he point out. So pH in the U.S. regulation in the past called hazardous waste because of corrosive. Something too high pH, too low pH. On the high pH side, currently rate is 12.5. By EPA been sued by some of the party. So they're gonna change it up to 11.5. So I would like to ask you the question. What's the difference between pH, like Jesse present from 8 point something to 8.1 to 8.0 to 7.8? So just take a simple one here, mine, 12.5 and 11.5. What's the difference? Especially I'd like to hear from any student here. Actually, I have gift. How about that? I don't have Jesse's large. I don't have his tailgate, the charger, but I got an iPhone card. Is anybody can tell me what's different between the 12.5 and 11.5?
That should be a pretty simple question, right?
1.0.
Not exactly.
That's alpha.
Raise your hand.
If you want an iPhone card, raise your hand.
It's less alpha.
Okay, all right. No, Jesse, you cannot answer.
How many times?
Yes.
10.
Who said 10?
Who said 10?
Here you go. That's an answer.
10 times.
The person back there?
Yeah, I
You
think
said
so.
10?
Yes.
You got it.
You got it. You got an iPhone card.
You know what? You know what? Who else? No one? Reserve for the next question.
Yeah, here you go. Come it up. Yeah, thank you. So,
How many more do you have?
well, keep it for next question, right? So, again, I think it's more and more for the student. The pH is in the logarithm scale. So even the 1.0 difference, 10 times different. So even say pH 7 to pH 9, that's 100 times different. Thinking about that, okay?
100 times of concentration.
In concentration, yes. Thank you, JC. That's why you cannot answer. Anyway, that's just a sidetrack. So anyway, I probably spent too much time on the U.S. I got a lot of questions to cover. So let's go to our neighbor, Latin America. And I think Ben, I understand he just come back from Mexico City yesterday. So how the trip?
Very good.
Okay, good. So Mexico, here's one country. I put two countries. Mexico, they've been reformed a lot. You might heard a lot of the manufacturing nature moving back to Mexico. Myself, when Bill Clinton signed the NAFTA 1993, I was able to start the project within 3 months across the border. So lucky me. So Mexico changed a lot. So Mexico also go into all kind of reforming their EHS regulation. Don't think about it, go to Mexico, no law. That's wrong. That's damn wrong. Plus, it's got 32 states in Mexico. Some of them right on the border town, some of them far away, some of them even way down to Nicaragua. So Mexico is a big country. So the problem there is they have independent agency in every own state. So if you want to open a business, you want to set up a factory, you want to do the right thing, you want to apply the permit, you want to get something approval, my advice to you is consider who's in charge. Who's in charge in that particular city, particular province in Mexico. So that can be a burden. And not criticize Mexico. Mexico do a lot of good things, a lot of regulation, but it's a piece of advice when you cross the border, it's a different country. Brazil been experiencing something global, I should not say global warming, climate change. The climate change. So they have experienced, especially southern part of Brazil, experienced the most drought in the last 80 years. Where you see the Sao Paulo, I think it's a 12 million population, something like that. So there's such development, and I think I don't need to repeat from previous two speakers. So the water comes to such a scarcity. So government got to do the regulation, control, municipal company. They got to prioritize what is the limit amount of water they have. obviously human being take a first priority. So give the people drinking water. But if you open a factory, use 100, 1,000, million of gallons a day, you may not get what the water you need to make your production. So that's coming to a business burden, and even the company there, their employee, they set up even a new rule. Maybe that's something maybe China need to learn. For part of the chaos of your question is they even take care of their employee health and safety. They even provide clean water for their employee to allow them to take back home. So come to business burden, but it's good for the community. So those kind of things, when you do in the business, what you have. So my point here is, those is changing world, basically changing the way how we do the business in different countries. So those are two in our neighborhood. So next, let's go to Asia Pacific, somewhere close to a lot of people where you're from. So a couple countries in the Asia Pacific, which is a big economic growth in the last 20, 30 years, is going to continue to be another growing, maybe not in China as a high 20% or 10% double-digit growth, but in the neighbor or the Vietnam and Indonesia, is a lot of growing. And I've been there for the last 5 years to see those change. So Vietnam country, for example, they take a lot of factories being shut down in China, they put in the truck, especially in the Fujian areas close to the southern part. They can drive several hours, they're already in the Vietnam. So Vietnam used to is an energy exporting country 10 years ago. They do have you might see those South China Sea. But with so much growth in the last 10 years, so the net energy consumption now, they are import energy. So anyway, so they regulate all the energy major user. If you have more than 1,000 tons per year, you're gonna face in a lot of regulation there. And they even want to minimize the summer energy use. And so another thing is regulations is all out there. You might heard a lot of maybe called global harmonization system, GHS in short term. It's a good system there in the awareness. Say when you gotta buy a can of definitely this is drinking water, but if you can the chemical, you gotta have properly all this identification, labeling, tell you what's in there. So just globally, so even we say difficult to get a lot of things done in a global scale, but I think GHS is one thing commonly been done around the world. I cannot say every country, but get a lot of things been done, global harmonization system to tell you when you buy a can of chemical or whatever, what's in there, what's the label. So those requirements is even already in the Vietnam. And they even require you put in not just English, also need to be in the Vietnamese, in the local language. So those are a lot of things change. You don't see that 5 years ago. Then Indonesia, short term, they are coming up and some environmental impact assessment, you might have heard that. So they got their own guideline. They even have interest in, they put 5 different colors there, rating the company performance on the environmental. They put 5 different colors. You can be there from gold color to the green, blue, red, and black. Once you put a black, what the company are brand this. So even in Indonesia, they have this kind of rating out there. So when you do the business over there, you don't want to be in the black, right? So next. How much time I have? Okay. All right, so maybe I should, just jump into Africa for fun. Africa, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, I don't know what's your vision about Africa, besides that a lot of elephant animal out there, but that's still there. But there's a lot of developing, especially a low-level cost, for them for the textile. I can tell you some of the T-shirts are made in the Western Africa because low labor costs over there. So industry, so they go over there. So the reason I put up the South Africa, I'm not going to get through all the detail. They got a lot of British regulation inherited from in the past. So even they want to manage the waste, they gotta do the emission inventory report. I think those countries start do all this greenhouse gas tracking as the first speaker talking about carbon dioxide. So those kind of things require out there getting more common even in Africa. But to be honest with you, outside of South Africa, the rest of the Africa is still like a wild west. So a lot of regulation may not get implemented over there. So that is very quick on the Africa. I think we can go to China. Next. So again, I'm going to do a little bit scary story here, just like any presentation. So you just relate to the public news. You might see this Tianjin explosion just about not too long ago in August. Look at that, 173 people from that fire explosion over there, that scary picture over there. So it's a wake-up call. Even some of the warehouse storage the chemical, when the chemical get something not properly managed, and accident like this, how much the impact over there. And this one, I think you might heard about it. It's actually very well-known Chinese news anchor. She spent about a year to do the interview around in China, particularly on the Wumai, the dust over there. So she put out this video on the internet or YouTube. First stage, put it out there, so we have 155 million people click to view it. But again, get shut down by the China media control in a couple of days. But you still can see that in the US side. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to see that. She even interviewed a 6-year-old girl in the Shanxi province. I think that's where a lot of coal fire plant. The 6-year-old girl, she asking her, have you seen the blue sky? Have you seen any star in the world? The 6-year-old girl never saw it before in her life. And that's how sad. So those are true. I've been there. In fact, September I was in Beijing. Probably right after the military move, they got a blue sky for a few days, but then within a week, just like this. So it's terrible. So that's kind of impact. And the question to everyone is $1 billion or the profit enough to clean up this? I'm not going to answer that. I'll let you think. Now, also have a combustible dust explosion. That's last year actually. So, a very tiny particle you accumulate in the ceiling over there, and somehow electrical charge, and then it gets charged to a fire explosion, and I think that's the picture over there. Caused those 114 injury, and I think that's economic loss of $60 million out there. So those kind of things. Not trying to scare you, I'm just trying to tell the real story happen when you don't have proper management about this kind of environmental health and safety, particularly as a business owner, what's the impact out there. Now, also in this China, they've been, I heard about, especially in the regulation side, every 5 years they come out there, big plan, every 5-year plan in the press, they call it 15条, 水10条, 空10条. Now they're talking about 土10条, meaning soil regulation, soil groundwater regulation. So those have been promulgated, they've become effect, and it's gonna change a lot of the business how you do with in the Chinese regulation. So a lot of the Chinese do have a lot of regulation, as you can see. EPA related, production safety related, occupation health disease related, chemical, even the EHA regulation. So those kind of things change. What they change to, they they're gonna penalize you more if you do something bad. The cost is increased for the non-compliance. And they're gonna push you for the more cleaner energy. And also very incentive to use better technology. So earlier question covered on there, I think you can connect to this. They try to do the good thing out there, and also it's a good opportunity. Company, you have a great technology, that's what they're looking for, to helping them to improve their environmental and health and safety. So that's a great market if you have that kind of technology. Also on the health and safety, earlier we hear about how many 100 people get died here, those kind of things. Now obviously, this is a serious issue. Human being lives cannot put a dollar sign. So those cost violation, health and safety, and company you do the business, definitely you won't be in the good reputation. You don't want to be saying this factory you own, people get killed. And I don't think that's the reputation you want to be associated with. So some of the best management practice is don't think about 20 years ago you go to China, open a factory. It's different day now. You definitely need to think about a good planning, going to more sustainable green type of production. And not only I'm the only one say that. I think any business people travel to China, you probably can relate to it, and I love to hear your story also. And also they do have a lot of technology to come down, reduce the emission, water treatment control. And then China do a lot over there. And those kind of things may not make the overnight change, but a lot of good things been happen. And I think that's those kind of things. In fact, some of the technology I involved with some of the water treatment in the early 90s went over there. And now I'm very impressed how they can do all kind of water treatment in China too.